Okay.
Thank you, and then we'll go to Dr. Gilbert. We were able to work that out with schedules. I believe Mr. Leary has an issue to raise with the court first.
Easy thing, I did have an opportunity to review the redaction. It's going to be just a sound redaction. They did a wonderful job, and it's clear that the sound is missing, but it almost appears like a glitch, and I'm fine with how that appears. The larger issue, Your Honor, is as I came into the courthouse this afternoon after lunch, there was one security officer there. I was making small talk with him about the weekend and weather, and as I was getting stuff out of the bowl, I could look back into where they congregate, the security. And on the computer screen was, attempted honor killing trial with a picture of Mr. Ali and Ms. Ali. I raised my concern to him and he said, oh, it says attempted. And I said, that's not my concern. While I was upstairs.
I'm sorry, just gonna have you back up for just a moment and explain to me again where you saw this
So I
in
walk through
security.
security, take off my belt, everything, and the tray goes through the rollers. As I'm bending down at the rollers, I'm looking to my left, and there's the workstation where the marshals, whatever their term they use, but essentially marshals running the security, they have their desk, they have the monitors that monitor the courtrooms, and then on the large computer screen, it appeared that they were tuned into Court TV or YouTube, and it was a still shot on the screen from Court TV that said, basically the description of this trial, which is, State versus Ali, attempted honor killing trial in very large print with a still photo of the two defendants, presumably from like public disclosure, like, screen captures from their pictures on scene. I expressed my concern, and he did not appear to share the concern that I had and said, that it was attempted. And I said, well, the term honor killing is not part of the trial and has specifically been excluded. He kind of pushed back on me. I did speak with a wonderful, helpful bailiff whose name I don't have, who's standing up in court, asking her to follow up with him. It was down by the time she had come, she's reported. When I was speaking to Heather and Olivia, and we're all sharing the concern about what this has, her staff, Michelle Wall, indicated that she had seen it once before. My concern, I think in terms of talking with the bailiffs, is not when they proceed from the law library to court, because I think there's kind of a front and back and they're kind of watching. It's when they individually came in at varying times, getting stuff out of the bowl. We know now of at least 2 occasions where that description is on the screen, and my concern is just what the jurors may have been exposed to. I spoke with Heather primarily, Olivia was there as well. It probably makes sense to do an individual inquiry of jurors, not that I really want to, and I don't necessarily know what the language would be, but I do have concerns that, one floor down, there's a big screen that talks about stuff that's been excluded from this trial.
All right, so first of all, I'm gonna take a brief recess to address this issue, to ensure that after we do the questioning of the jurors individually, that nothing like this could or would happen again. I don't go in through the front in that area. I certainly do not condone this. And it's upsetting for me to hear that this is something that could impede a fair trial in this case, which of course is what we are all working towards. And so I'd like to take a brief recess to address that issue, and then I will come out. I would appreciate it if, while I'm on this recess, if you would like to confer about some particular questions you might want me to ask. I will be thinking about that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All rise. Court's in recess.
We get downstairs. This way forward, do we want to be more direct in what they've been exposed to or not? There's arguments on both sides. I just wanted to raise that question with the court.
I mean, I could ask them whether or not they have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse?
Well, at this point, I don't think we should limit it. I think we should just say,
Well, there's no information to suggest that they have been exposed to information from any other place, and we've been specifically talking about a potential exposure here at the courthouse. So I think it makes sense to actually talk about whether or not they've seen anything here at the courthouse. Outside this courtroom, because obviously there's media coverage within the courtroom.
Right, that was my only, I guess, clarification, is certainly I don't want them to confuse the question with the media that is present within the courtroom itself.
Okay. So I'm suggesting using what has been presented to me. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
Okay.
All right, so I would like the bailiff to inform the jury that we are going to bring them in individually to ask them some questions so that they know that that is what's going to be happening. And then, of course, once I'm done with questioning, I will advise the juror who's in here not to discuss it. All right, thank you.
Are we gonna stand for them individually, or do this like we did with individual questions where we stay seated?
I think we'll stay seated.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Number one. Jury number one, we are bringing in each juror to ask everyone the same question, okay?
Okay.
Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or the courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I'll have the bailiff take you back to the jury room. Thank
Your Honor,
you.
were you going to advise to not?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, I apologize. Please don't discuss with anyone else the question that I asked you.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Juror number 2, we are bringing in each juror to ask them this same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or the courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within the courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
Maybe.
All right, can you tell me what you mean by maybe?
We've been watching the national news because I feel like that's fair game. And I was watching the dishes and it switched over to I wasn't really paying attention, switched over to local news. All I heard was the most basic description of the trial, and then I switched it. So maybe 3 seconds. But I didn't hear it on the local news.
Your Honor, the interpreters cannot hear the juror.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm just going to read back what you said. We've been watching the national news because I feel like that's fair game, and I was washing the dishes and it switched over to I wasn't really paying attention. All I heard was the most basic description of the trial, and then I switched it, so maybe 3 seconds, but I did hear it on the news. Is that correct? You have to verbally respond.
Yes, sorry. I should know that by now.
As you sit here knowing that you heard 3 seconds of some sort of report, and that was at your home?
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to separate out whatever it is that you might have heard as it relates to ultimately deciding this case based only on the facts presented during the trial and evidence presented during the trial, and then my instruction on the law?
Absolutely.
All right. Ms. Stone, do you have any questions?
Has this impacted your ability to be fair and impartial in this case in any way?
No.
Thank you. No, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
Mr. Kading?
No, Your
Mr. Larry?
Honor. No,
All right. I'll have you go back to the jury room. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Gosh, I apologize. I do have it written down. Jury number 2, you are not to discuss what we've been talking about here in this courtroom with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. You understand?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Your Honor, wait, I do have a question, I guess.
Okay,
How did you know it was about this case?
It was, I really wasn't paying attention, but it was something like the jury in the trial in Thurston County of the couple that's pretty much all I heard. And then I switched the channel. I was headed toward the clicker when I came up, because I knew we were on the local news as opposed to national news.
Okay, thank you.
all right, thank you. Ms. Stone, anything as it relates to number 2?
No, Your Honor. He indicated he'd be fair and impartial. It has not impacted, and based on what he relayed, it doesn't appear to be anything different than the facts that he has heard in this case.
Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor.
Just a moment. Not yet, not yet. No, nothing?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, okay. Juror number 3, we are bringing in each juror individually to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or the courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within the courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories. I am ordering you not to discuss that question or anything else that we've been talking about since we brought you in with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. Okay? Thank you. Juror number 4, we are bringing in each juror individually to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
The only exposure I've had is, like a clip came on the TV, and as soon as I saw that it was one of our witnesses, I turned it off, so I did not.
All right, and was that at your home?
Yeah.
All right, and when was that?
Oh gosh, it was last week, like, right Tuesday. That's when I realized that, oh crap, like, I shouldn't be watching this while this is going on.
All right, and about how long do you think it was on for?
Oh, like 2 seconds.
And how did you know that it was related to this trial?
I recognized one of the witnesses.
And who was it?
Okay, I might have been wrong about Tuesday, but it was Fatima.
Okay.
So the day after she testified.
And did you hear any commentary or anything that, any clip with her where she was speaking?
No.
All right. Do you believe that despite having seen this, you described about 2 seconds of news coverage related to this case, that you can put out of your mind whatever it is that you saw and still decide this case based only on the evidence presented during the trial and the instruction on the law?
Yes.
And do you believe that you can still be fair and impartial to all sides?
Yes.
Ms. Stone, any questions?
Nothing additional, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Kading?
Nothing additional, thank you.
Mr. Larry?
Just one brief thing.
Yeah.
So any graphics with the clip or anything else other than just that you saw with potentially Fatima?
I did not see any other graphics.
Okay. Nothing further, thank you.
I instruct you that you are not to discuss what we have been talking about here with anyone else, including any of your fellow jurors, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can you shut the door, please? Ms. Stone, any issues with number 4?
Not based on the record you made, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Larry?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You can bring in 5. Juror number 5, we are bringing in each juror individually to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories. All right. I am instructing you that you are not to discuss that question or anything else associated with you coming here in the courtroom with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. Thank you. And bring in number 6. Juror number 6, we are bringing in each juror individually to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or the courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within the courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories. No? See, okay. I am instructing you not to discuss this question or anything that's happened here since you've come into the courtroom with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. Do you understand? Thank you. Juror number 7, we are bringing the jurors in individually to ask them all the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
No, ma'am.
I am instructing you not to discuss that question or anything that's happening here in the courtroom while I'm asking you these questions with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead and have a seat. Juror number 8, we're bringing in each juror individually to ask them all the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
I have not seen anything.
All right. I'm instructing you not to discuss the question I just asked you or anything about coming here into the courtroom with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. Do you understand? Thank you. Juror number 9, we are bringing in each juror individually to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
No.
All right. Juror number 9, I am instructing you not to discuss the question that I asked you or anything about coming into the courtroom with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. And do you understand?
I do.
Thank you. Juror number 10, we are bringing each juror in individually to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
No.
I'm instructing you not to discuss the question I just asked you or anything about coming into the courtroom now with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. And do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Juror number 11, we are having each juror come in individually so that we can ask each of you the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within the courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
No, Your Honor.
All right. I am instructing you not to discuss the question that I've asked or anything about coming into the courtroom with anyone else, including your fellow jurors. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Juror number 12, we are bringing each juror in individually to ask the same question.
Okay.
Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within this courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
There was one day coming in last week where the security guard had an image up behind his desk of one of the witnesses sitting in the stands. But I got one quick look and looked away. Didn't see a headline or anything like that.
Did you recognize the image of the witness?
Yes.
Who was it?
It was Isaiah's father. I forget his name. Victor?
Do you recall what day that was?
I don't.
About how long do you think that you saw that image?
Enough to register his face, so a second or two.
Was there anything else on the screen that you saw besides the image of Isaiah's father?
Not that I saw, it was enough to recognize where it was, and that there might have been people next to him, but not enough to see anything else.
So it was not while he was testifying, it was a gallery shot?
Correct.
Was it a still photo or was it something that appeared to you to be moving?
It was still.
And so then, other than seeing Isaiah, recognizing Isaiah's dad in a still shot with potentially having some people around him, was there anything else that you recall from the image?
No.
Was there any audio that was going on? Was there anyone else that you recognized in the shot besides Isaiah's dad? Ultimately, the job of a juror is to decide the case only on the evidence presented during the trial here in the courtroom, but during the trial and the court's instruction on the law. Do you believe that you can put out of your mind that image that you saw of Isaiah's dad sitting in the gallery, potentially with some other people, and decide the case based only on the evidence presented during the trial? And do you believe that you can still be fair and impartial to all sides? Ms. Stone, do you have any questions?
I don't have any additional, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Leary?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Juror number 12, I'm instructing you not to discuss the question I asked or your responses or anything associated with coming into the courtroom now with anyone, including your fellow jurors. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to have the door closed for a moment. Ms. Stone, anything as it relates to juror number 12?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Leary?
Just makes me appreciative that we're doing this, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and before we bring in the next person, for the clerk, although this person is now our number 1 alternate, they are still alternate number 2? Okay, bring in alternate number 2, please. Alternate juror number 2, we are bringing in all of the jurors to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within the courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories.
I went on Facebook like several days after and I saw KOMO's news, but I just looked at it and I had closed. Basically, I didn't go and read it, I just saw it.
I need you to speak up just a little bit.
I saw the news, but I didn't read it. I had to look at the picture, I recognized I turned it off.
Who was in the picture?
The two defendants.
And were there any captions?
I only looked at pictures. I recognized the picture and then I knew it was just, I don't know why I went on Facebook, so.
Did you go onto Facebook to look for information related to this case?
No, it's like a daily thing I do, read my stuff, but not looking for about the case.
How was it that this information from KOMO News came up on
I
Facebook?
follow most of the news stations around here, Cairo, KOMO, Fox, CNN. I just scroll through the news just to watch the news. And I happened to scroll and saw the picture and I immediately just turned it on. So there's no information I got from there, basically just the pictures.
Did you click on, well, can you click, as you scroll through, if there's something you want to look at, can you click into it and see more detail?
It should. It's the news article. Any of those, it's a link, basically.
Okay. Did you click on the link?
No.
After you saw the KOMO News information on Facebook, where you saw the pictures of Mr. and Mrs. Ali, have you gone back to Facebook since that time?
I don't go to that station. I went back on Facebook, but I don't see anything else.
But doesn't the news feed come up on your Facebook page every day?
Sure, but that's the only one that I saw.
Ultimately, the job of the jury will be to decide this case based only on evidence presented during the trial. Do you believe that you can exclude from your mind or consideration the photograph that you saw of Mr. and Mrs. Ali from any consideration in this case?
Okay.
And do you believe that you can still be fair and impartial?
Yes, I can.
And if I instruct you so, will you abide by not going back on Facebook between now and the ultimate conclusion and discharge of the jury?
Yes, I will.
All right. Ms. Stone, do you have any questions?
Nothing additional, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Leary?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
So right now I will instruct you that you are not to discuss the question that I asked you or anything that's happened in the courtroom since you've come in. You may not discuss that with anyone, including your fellow jurors. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And unless and until you are discharged from this case, I am ordering you not to be looking on social media at all and to ensure that you are not exposed to outside information, and you're willing to abide by that?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Stone?
Nothing additional, Your Honor, based on the questions and instruction.
Mr. Kading?
Nothing further.
Mr. Larry?
Nothing additional, thank you.
All right, thank you. Alternate juror number 3, we are bringing in each juror individually to ask them the same question. Since the beginning of this trial, have you been exposed to any media coverage associated with this trial here at the courthouse or courthouse complex, apart from what you have received within the courtroom? Media includes still shots, news articles, social media posts, and/or news stories. Thank you. Go ahead. And, sorry, go ahead and have a seat.
Oh.
I am instructing you not to discuss the question I asked or anything that's happened since you came into the courtroom with anyone else, including your fellow jurors.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything further before we bring the jury in? Ms. Stone?
Nothing additional, Your Honor.
Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Larry? All right.
No, apologies, Your Honor, I believe that there is, Ms. O wants to put something on the record as to agreement about the parameters of Dr. Gilbert's testimony, and it might make sense to do that now if the court's willing to do that.
How long is Officer Bell's testimony going to be?
I think it's less than an hour.
Okay, well, we'll probably take a recess, but go ahead.
Okay.
Your Honor, I just want to let the court know that I spoke with Mr. Leary and also Mr. Kading with regards to Dr. Gilbert's testimony. The concern was that whether her testimony would in essence open the door to some of Miss Ali's previous history, and I think the parameters we've worked out, and defense can correct me if I'm wrong, but in essence, the state will be asking Dr. Gilbert to testify about her training and experience and the effects on the body with strangulation in general, and then to ask her questions specifically about the injuries that is attributed to this incident that is based on the strangulation exam that was done by Ms. Rivas, and then also the photos of the injuries, and that the state is now going to ask her to give any opinion or opine in any way about what injuries Miss Ali could have in the future as it related due to this specific incident, so not to open the door.
All right, and when you're referring to Miss Ali, you're talking about Fatima Ali?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kading?
Yes, Your Honor, that sounds what we discussed.
All right, Mr. Larry?
In agreement.
All right, and Dr. Gilbert has been so advised?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Bring in the jury. Go ahead and have the officer come into the courtroom.
Thank you, Your Honor.